Hey guys, let's talk about this basic strength and conditioning program. What is strength and conditioning? It's an approach to training that involves a range of exercises that increase your strength and conditioning. This has mostly been used for athletes. You usually see college athletes, high school athletes, pro athletes. They do a strength and conditioning program as part of their off season, and even during the season, they're doing strength and conditioning exercises to stay fit. But it can also be used as a great tool for general fitness, for weight loss, and it's a great introduction to training for young folks, for youth, and really anybody who's coming to the first time into exercise. And this program is especially meant for those folks. So this is meant to be a program that you use. This is your introduction to strength and conditioning training. And I'm here because I don't see a lot of people doing, um, or at least not calling it this. I mean, there's a lot of people that do this kind of approach, but they don't call it strength and conditioning. And I think that, yeah, really especially for general fitness and for weight loss and for kids, taking a strength and conditioning approach is something that I really advocate for. So, and one of the main reasons I like this, and I think it's good for really for anybody, is because there's a good degree of variety in the programming. You can mix it up quite a bit, and that's actually one of the tenets here is to do blocks of training, and I'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute. Yeah, and we're going to utilize in this program a range of equipment. So we're going to be using barbells, we're going to be using kettlebells, dumbbells, bands, the cable machine, any weighted implement that we can really get our hands on. Um, and we'll also be using our own body weight, and we'll be using cardio equipment, a whole range of things. And I'll start by introducing a little bit at a time for each of these different pieces of equipment. So each of the workout structure kind of goes like this. You're going to begin with a movement prep warm up. So this warm up is designed to warm up your joints while reinforcing postural cues and skills, and that is really the most important thing with this training. The whole idea of strength and conditioning is to train you in such a way that you are going to decrease your likelihood of getting injured doing whatever other activities you do. And that's really the foundation of this, and it's based on a universal postural position. And you'll see in the videos those kind of cues are going to be reinforced over and over again. So after warming up, and we utilize a lot of isometric exercises for the warm-up, where you're going to be holding one of those positions, like the bottom part of a position and the top part of a position. So then you'll go into the strength, and the strength training here is really, the foundation is in powerlifting. I'm really utilizing the power lifts, pressing, pulling, and squatting, the big three. And I talk about all the different ways all the different exercises that fall within those three categories, and the workouts will balance out the amount of work that you're doing in those three categories, which assume, based on the principle that when you balance those three different movement patterns and you're taking a balanced approach to loading your joints, and you're doing it with good posture, that is the key to healthy joints and really being in the best position to stay healthy and to stay injury free. Then at the end of the workouts, each day you're going to do some cardio, and it's going to be a high intensity interval training workout. The movements are low in skill, so they're not going to be too complicated. I want to do simple things that are going to really get my heart rate up in a hurry. And it's going to be done in a way where you'll work a certain amount of time, and then you'll rest a certain amount of time. Or that you'll just have blocks of time. The cardio parts of the workout will not take more than 10 or 15 minutes at the most, but more like 5. So it's going to be a short period of time. We're going to work real hard, get your heart rate up, and then you move on. Move on to the cool down. Every day we'll finish with a cool down where you're going to be using recovery modalities such as rolling out and stretching to try to speed up your recovery. That's the whole point of that period. Speed up your recovery. You won't be as sore if you go through a good cool down. And like I said before, all of the exercises here will be scalable, and I'll do my best to get you all in the best position to succeed on these movements, because squats, deadlifts, and presses, they're all pretty demanding on your technique. There are a lot of nuances to getting in a good position for these exercises, and there's really a learning curve to it. And you will succeed on this program if you're willing to really pay attention to that, listen to the instructional cues, look at yourself in the mirror doing these things, and never go. So here's 2 tenets here. The exercises must be pain-free. So if you're doing squats and it's hurting your knee, you got to stop immediately and try a different style of squat. Recheck your technique to make sure you're hitting all of those postural cues, or just send me a message and let me know what's going on, and we'll try to get you in a position to you never want to have to go through painful exercises, but you do also want to address the issue. You don't want to avoid the issue. You want to target the issue, and this program hopefully gives you enough variety that you're going to be targeting all of the issues you could be facing, but talk to me if you need something a little bit more specific. And the other tenet of this is going only to the point of technical failure. So if you're in the middle of a squat set, say, and you're doing fine, but you're on your 10th rep, and then your knee starts to cave in, and you'll see that's one of the cues. You've got to keep your knees out. If your knee caved in on that 10th rep, even if you were meant to do 15, rack the weight, put the weight back, lower the weight. You can try the set again, or just skip on to the next set after that, because if we're loading and reinforcing negative posture, that's not what we want to do. And this isn't about being a superhero and breaking the world record for lifting or exercising for this program. This is just an introduction. Just take it easy and move well. Okay, so then another aspect of these programs, basically a lot of the warm-ups, you're going to go through all of these things 2 times, and there's different, sometimes some of the things will do 8 reps. It's listed on the videos. You can just see what I recommend on there. For the strength part of the workout, it's usually recommending that you do warm-up sets to build up in weight, and then once you get to a challenging weight for the day, you'll do 3 sets, and the first, you'll do 3 working sets. The first working set, you'll do 5 repetitions, and then you'll decrease the weight for your second set, where you'll do 10 repetitions, and then you'll decrease the weight again, and you'll do 15 repetitions for your third set. And you can follow that all the way through. That's a really good start, but variation is the key too. So I would go through these 3 workouts 3 or 4 cycles. And I have it, you can do, it could be like a Monday, Wednesday, Friday thing, or however you want to split it up, but I would go through it 3 or 4 cycles, and then I would move on to something else. And I would begin to introduce more complex movements, different core movements, and more, variety, add variety into your program. This is, and again, this is just what they call an acquisition or control phase program, where it's the baseline program. It's a very baseline program. So that's it. Enjoy.